Hello guys, welcome to another Bedroom Guru with me, Nicky Alan. I mostly look like total shit today. I always vowed when I first started doing these that I would be totally transparent. So, you know when you look at all these videos and you look at things on Facebook and I think they called it social, I can't remember what it is, where you see people enjoying their lives and everything's great. And all these people are happy on YouTube and and I'm feeling really shit actually, really heartbroken. And so I want to be honest and transparent, and it's not about sympathy. It's not about, oh, poor Nikki. It's about acknowledging emotions and how to cope with them and how to deal with them. Yeah, I must be on a massive learning curve at the moment in respect of relationships with men. Because yet again, as an empath, we wear our heart on our sleeve, and I've had my heart ripped off my sleeve, crunched up and thrown on the floor. My trust, my love, and everything I gave to someone was just totally smashed to pieces, basically. I was totally betrayed, cheated, lied at. And I just wonder, as an empath, why it always happens to us. So it's pretty raw. And obviously it's happened again for a reason, so I assume that I've got to work more on my boundaries, work more on not trusting people so much, because it seems that the biggest manipulators, the biggest liars, the biggest cheaters have the most calmest, most the most sincere or the most brilliant way of manipulating and lying. They've mastered it over so long, that they're so good at it. And so with empaths, because we always see the best in people, we go with it. Even if we try and stop it, they kind of try and win you over. And so I think it's been a lesson on boundaries, and not trusting people as much, not wearing a heart on a sleeve, and listening to your intuition. Now this is interesting for people that have got really strong intuition, because my intuition was screaming at me, especially the last few weeks, screaming at me that something was really wrong. And unlike last time when my granddad came in the bedroom and was like, "Wake up, Nicky," I suppose they were leaving me to my own devices this time. And my intuition was screaming at me that he was going back to somebody. And I waited for him to tell the truth, and that didn't happen. And then I ended up dealing with it myself. I ended up thinking, right, enough's enough. He's not going to speak the truth to me. He's not going to speak the truth to her. How I'm going to go and deal with it. Not the best way, I suppose. Not really ugly, but there you go. So the lesson there is that intuition and past demons, when we get demons of, oh, perhaps it's my lack of self-belief, or perhaps it's because it's happened before and I think it's going to happen again. Listen to your intuition, because my intuition was so strong and so obvious, and I put it down to me worrying that it was my own demons. It wasn't at all. I haven't got any demons like that. It was my intuition every single time that said to me, this is wrong, you're being lied to, he's not doing what he's saying he is, you know where he's going, deal with it. So I did on Sunday. Anyway, you must be wondering why I'm saying about this. The reason being is because it fits tits. It fits, that's how I'm feeling, pretty tits. It fits really nicely in with an email I've just got from Caroline Reed asking about soul journals. And she wants to know what they're for. I keep mentioning them, and she says, what are they for? What do you put in them? And what do they do? What's the use of them? So this is why I'm talking to you about the first bit, because this has been my little best friend last day, because a soul journal is like a diary of the soul. It's writing absolutely everything in it that happens to you. Firstly, on a health, I'm going to be a bit rubbish today because I'm just so heartbroken. But you know what? I thought I've got to do positive things to move from this. It's no longer my problem. I I've faced it all, dealt with it all. It's no longer my problem. So I've got to get on and do what I do best, and that's helping other people through my own mistakes and my own experiences and my own triumphs. So soul journals, I've got hundreds of them now, and I keep them all. So the first thing is that when you go through any type of trauma, when you go through any type of issue, challenge, or anything at all, and perhaps you need to go to a counsellor, the first thing they normally will recommend is either writing letters to the people, or writing about the experience, whatever it may be, and burning it or sending it to the person, whatever it may be. They normally express this need for you to want to write things. So what I do is all the things that I need to get out, you know, things that are in your head and you're like, for God's sake, it's doing my head in, write it all out, because when it's in black and white, it's really clear. So one of the biggest things that I did after getting over the initial shock of my betrayal, I decided to write out all the things that were wrong with him, right, and all the things that I didn't really like, and all the things that I didn't trust, and that was 2 pages long, right? And so I'm like, wow, that, you know, there's a lot going on with this person that I really didn't like, and it really wasn't right. So there's 2 pages of that, right? And then I wrote the things that I liked or were good about him, and I wrote 3 things. 3 things against 2 pages. So it made me go, oh my God, what is the matter with you? What were you putting up with? Do you know what I mean? And most of the things that I hate, like materialism and, you know, the lack of openness and truth and all that kind of thing, and the narcissistic tendencies again, and the secretiveness and the scheming and playing other people and not even feeling it and being unempathic, they're the biggest hates I have. But writing them out made me go, oh my God, what was I thinking? So they're very, very good for you seeing things in black and white. So for instance, if you've got any decisions to make in your life, write out the pros and cons of it, because when you're thinking it, you get all the monkeys come in that are like play, and you know, they add emotion to your decisions. If you write it out, it's in black and white and it's really clear, and you'll go, wow, it really is quite gobsmacking. So I've also written out a letter to myself about how I went wrong in this situation. I've also analysed everything, and to be honest with you, it completely lifted so much pain and energy from me. I felt so much more lightened. And don't get me wrong, we're all like it. We all rage and say and do nasty things when we're really hurt to begin with. And yeah, I did that, and I don't give a shit I did it, because, you know, I've been treated abysmally again, when all I want to do is love someone and be the best and most honest and loyal person I can. When someone stamps on it, you go mental, don't you? And I did for a little while. So hey ho, we're all human. But then I pulled myself back and realised that I need to start working on myself, because he's no longer my problem. So, soul journal. So it was a real massive cathartic session for me, and I think I must have been writing it for about 2 hours last night, with the aid of yarrow sacred oil, and I was burning ylang ylang and bergamot essential oils as well, to uplift my mood, to stop the tears, to stop the panic attacks, all that kind of stuff, because I don't want to start getting that physical connection. So I've been working on that. I also did a meditation with Archangel Michael to cut the cords from anything to do with him and his energy, anything at all. I've got rid of everything and sage anything that he touched. These are the sort of things that I'm telling you to do, because it really aids the grieving process quickly. Okay, you're still going to grieve, but I think you go through it a lot quicker, because I've now got to like the depressive stage, which is past the denial, shock, anger, guilt, bargaining. I've now already gone to the depressed stage, or the fact that it's quite a sad thing that's happened. So that could take months ordinarily, but I've kind of smashed it. Okay, so it'll take a while, don't get me wrong, because I loved him, but I'm going to get through it quicker and get on with what I need to be doing, which is my work and my friends and my family. So anyway, the soul journal is perfect for writing out those sorts of things. If there's anything bugging you, or anything you need to make a decision on, anything about, you know, if someone's pissing you off down here on the earth plane, write it out in your soul journal. So that's one of the uses. And as I say, most counsellors will say to you, write this out, write this out. So I do it as a matter of course now. Sometimes I just write mundane things in here about what's happened in my life, you know, and events and things like that. And it's nice to look back sometimes. I like reading back on my old diaries to see where I was and what I was doing. So that's a nice thing, you know, a bit of nostalgia. The other thing is as well is that when you, lots of empaths or people that are obviously getting energy channeled to them get a lot of it in dream state. Okay, so it is really important to write down your dreams. Now, before everything kicked off with this scenario with him, I dreamt the night before that I got stung by bees, and I was trying to pick this massive sting out of my arm, and that I was in this toxic environment, that I had to wear a toxic mask, and then I got stung by these bees. And so when I wrote it all out, and I thought, I'm going to analyse that, so I went to a dream analysis site, and it's about, you're going to be stung by harsh words and behaviour, you're in a toxic environment, and you're surrounded by something that isn't great. And I'm like, Jesus, my dream actually said it as well, you know. So I wrote out the dream. So write out your dreams, okay? Sometimes you might get people from the spirit world visit you, so that's great. Write it all down, because they may even give you prophecy. They may even say this is going to be happening at a later stage. And then when it does happen, you think, God, I'm sure my nan told me that. And you can look back and see that you've made reference to it. Okay, dreams are so important, because we're so busy during the day doing our bits and pieces. Obviously, they can't get to us because our alpha brainwave state is not happening, because we're thinking about doing this, doing that, got to get this done, we're too busy. So when we're in a sleep state, they can drift in and bring us messages from the divine, from the source. So write down your dreams, all right? Lots of people get messages in dreams. I get them all the time, really strong dreams. And funny enough, talking of dreams, I haven't had any dreams of my abusive past for many years. And last week I was told that I was talking in my sleep, and I had a dream of being back with the abuser. And so again, my consciousness, my soul was telling me, you're being abused here, something ain't right, you know. And it's just really weird how that all come up. So your dreams can sometimes, if you have the same dream recur at certain times, maybe giving you a message of something, maybe warning you of something. So take, you know, massive notice of your dreams, because I didn't say anything at the time, but I thought something's not right here, because I've got my abuser dream back. That's not right. So there's something really afoot here. So again, listen to your dreams, write them out. Equally as important is meditations, okay? So when you have your meditations, again, you're allowing yourself to go into the alpha brainwave state. So you're going to start getting visions, thoughts, messages. You're going to be seeing different colours that are relevant to your chakra flow. You might be seeing water, whatever it is. Again, once you've finished your meditation, write out what happened in your meditation. Sometimes it can be confirming what decisions you want to make now. Sometimes it can be reaffirming things you need to change from your past that are affecting your present. And sometimes they can be giving you encouragement for things that you're deciding to do for the future. So it's so important, again, to get your meditations written out, okay? Because again, you can look back and think, oh my God, I can't believe I did that meditation and that said this was going to happen, you know? It's just really good to affirm things, because when you get things happen, like what's just happened to me, you get a dip and you just think, really? And you kind of lose a bit of that essence of strength in your soul. You lose that essence of spiritualness, you know? You kind of turn a bit ugly and turn a bit human for a while, and then you have to grab it back again. And so last night I kind of went back to some of my old soul journals and read them, and it just gave me that sense of balance back again, you know? And I absolutely adore them. So write down your meditations. If I go to any classes, and if you go to any like classes, circles, workshops, spiritual workshops, anything like that, again, take this with you and write all the notes in there, so it's all in one place. You know, I remember when I used to do my workshops regularly, and obviously I can't now because of my health, but I remember I used to do them regularly, and they used to come in, and I used to know the people that had forgotten their soul journal or didn't have one. They're like, I haven't got my soul journal. It was one of my big things, you know. And because there's people writing on random bits of paper, and then perhaps they'll lose it, or it'll be left in a car pocket. So it's nice to have it all in one place, your spiritual growth, your spiritual journey. And obviously, you know, as I say, you can write your human experiences in there as well. And then what I also do sometimes is, if I'm writing something that's really annoying me or hurting me or getting on my nerves, whatever it is, I then will pull a couple of angel cards. And so the angel cards will then be written in here as well. And weirdly enough, when I've looked back at the angel cards just before Christmas, it was talking about don't take people's words as truth, walk away, close the door to open a new one, walk away from this situation as it isn't helping you. And I'm like, wow, what's all that about? And it said here, make wise decisions, and make sure that it's in your favour. Don't make impulsive decision moves right now, but know that change is going to be your approach. See what I mean? And so it's like, wow. And turn your attention to amazing future possibilities, because change is coming and you have to leave the past behind. I'm like, what's all that about? No, I know exactly what it's about. And that was just literally New Year's Eve that I wrote those. So it was obviously giving me my little future for the next few weeks. Hey ho. All love and light. So yeah, so basically that's what I do with the Soul Journal. To me, it is everything. You know, if I go on holiday, I take it with me. If I'm going to stay with friends or family, I take it with me, because I think it's just a beautiful thing. And, you know, as I say, I put normal things in there as well, births and birthdays and what I got up to and what's going on with my life, because, again, it's nice to look back. Also, if you're developing medium and, you know, you get a bit disheartened thinking you're not getting very far with everything, what you do is I remember looking back at my first soul journals, right? And I look back at them and it says, oh my God, I can't believe it. I got a name today in a reading. I'm like, I'll get about 50 names in a reading and they're all right, you know. And so sometimes when you're feeling a bit like I'm not getting anywhere, I'm rubbish, I'm not developing very well, because we all have that. We all have self-doubt with our development. We can look back and we can see how far we've come spiritually, and it really does help you to give you a boost. Everything is about boosting you and positivity in life, because let's face it, life throws you so many shitty low ballers, doesn't it? And I've just had another one thrown right at me, and you just think, really? Sorry for the F word, but you just think, you know, I just had enough. Why has this happened to me when I've just been honest and loving and open and a total empath? And, you know, that's what I think we're here for, is just to be battered and bruised by the ones that just need to learn their lessons. I don't know what it's about. And so we need to embrace positivity. We need to find anchors to keep us going. And one of these is mine. What some people just use a notebook, but I always, when I go to like new age shops, or even, you know, sometimes you can find them in like the factory shops or cheapy shops, you know, just really pretty. Look at that one. I think this is Josephine Moore. She's one of my favourite spiritual artists. Right, and you just find pretty ones, and then I've got all sorts. I've even got a shadow book that I wrote in, a Wiccan book. But, you know, find a nice pretty book that you love, keep them with you, keep them dear, and use them for your own understanding, use them for your development, use them for your growth, use them for your counselling session, use them to write letters to perhaps people you miss that have passed over. You know, use them to write to people that you want to, display your love to, your anger to. Use them for everything that you would do in a counselling session, basically. They are absolutely vital and crucial. I just don't know what I'd do without these books. They're like my... do you know what I just saw? Do you know, like the diary room in like Big Brother? It's just my little time to dedicate to myself, to write out my feelings, thoughts and aspirations, as well as recording all spiritual experiences as well. You know, so if I see synchronicity, I've been seeing 222 everywhere for weeks, since November, I think it is, 222. And it's totally relevant what it means. And so I write that in. I've seen 222, or I've seen a butterfly, or I've seen this, or I've seen that, you know. So all your experiences that you have during the day as well, write them out, okay? Because it's all brilliant recording. And sometimes if you have a reading or see a medium, you know, they might say, oh, you know, did this happen? You think, God, did that happen? You can look back and go, yeah, oh my God, yeah, that was my mum, that was a butterfly, it came 3 times, whatever it is, you know. Whatever experience you want to put in there, do it. These are really, really good for mental health. They're good for your spiritual enlightenment. They're good for positivity, and they're good for clearing the wheat from the chaff when you've got too much going on in your head. So I hope that answers your question, Caroline Reed. And it's really weird that it came in when it's totally relevant, because I've used this like a bitch. I've nearly come to the end of the book, to be fair. So yeah, dedicated to someone that was really nasty, but it's good because kind of helped me exercise a lot of issues today. So with that, my lovelies, I'm going to get on with my psychic detective column, because that's just come up, which is exciting. And I look forward to speaking to you again soon. For anybody that's watching this in the Devon area, don't forget that I have my next evening of mediumship at the Osborne Hotel on the 3rd of March. And if you think or feel that possibly this video can help people then please share it for me, for people that might benefit from the Salt Journal Chronicles. That didn't sound right, did it? Anyway, I hope this has helped you, Caroline, and I hope this has helped other people. And when I feel a bit better, I will get back to the cards. But at the moment, I'm not quite right. Give me a couple of days, I'll be fine. Okay, so you take care, everybody. Look after yourselves and go and treat yourselves to one of these. Take care now. Bye.